everybody, it's Mandy. So the first video I wanted to talk about was the dressing your truth part. I know, it seems kind of strange. You think I would start with cleaning. Those of you that come to my channel for cleaning, this will make sense with the cleaning as well, okay? So this is why I wanted to talk about this, okay? So this year has definitely been crazy with everything. I mean, really. And so in the process of this, it really made me soul search about myself and really who I was. It's kind of like a soul searching kind of year, I guess. Which has always kind of been a thing that I've always wondered about, even as a teenager. I don't know why. It was one of those, I always felt like I was trying to be somebody I wasn't, and things like that as a teenager even. So anyway, I went through the Dressing Your Truth course, and the information that I'm going to be sharing comes out of Carol Tuttle's book, which is called It's Just My Nature. Okay, and I'm going to kind of talk about why I think I'm a 1 now. What? I thought you said 4. Yeah. Okay, so I lived my life as a 4 for 11 months straight, okay? I was devoted to it and everything, and one thing that I learned is I was exhausted. I don't know why. I was exhausted, kind of depressed, and everything like that. So I feel like there's something to it, even though I feel like it's kind of hooey in a way, too. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I kind of feel like it's hooey. Like, some of it gets a little too strict and too weird, okay? And some of it you can take and run with, okay? So, like, for instance, I feel like, you know, a type 1 can kind of flow between the types because that's just kind of how they feel. So then if you think about it, you could kind of flow between your looks and kind of take on the other types. And one thing that was nice about it is it showed you how to pair things together. So that way, if you say, okay, I'm going to be a type 4 today because I'm just not feeling it, I know how to dress like a type 4 because it all goes together that way. All right. And see, even today, I'm a type 1 today, but I don't look like it, do I? I'm not wearing gold jewelry, basically. It bugs me. That's my secondary 4 that is bugging right now. Okay. But anyway, I want to talk about the type 1 and why I felt like I'm a type 1, not a type 4 now. Okay. One thing that's interesting is you guys, your comments on my videos helped me realize this. Y'all don't understand how much those comments mean to me when you comment on a video with me. I may not respond. I mean, honestly, like this year has just been insane. So a lot of you guys, I've seen the comments come in. I haven't responded like I wanted to. I know last year I responded like crazy, but this year I haven't. And it's mainly because there's just been so much going on. It's been a super stressful year as well. So it hasn't been fun. I'll just be like that. And one of the characteristics is inspiring. So this is one of the comments that you guys give me a lot, is that I inspire you guys, that you come to my channel for inspiration and things like that. Even though I know I am not doing a good job. I am not an authority by any means on cleaning my house because I can't seem to keep it clean, okay? But the progress of it all is you got to keep going, right? So you can't just stop. You have to keep going, okay? Which we're going to get to in a minute. All right, hopeful. One thing that is so funny about this word being a type 1 word is I actually had my very first email address with the word hopeful in it. Okay, like way back in the day. Okay, I was sitting there thinking, I want a catchy, cool email address. So I sat there and I thought about it forever, okay? And so the word hopeful was in it. I'm not going to give you my email or anything like that because it's not even my email anymore. But anyway, and even now my email is a version of hope. So for that. So it's kind of cool that that's one of the things. Youthful. This was something that I've always been told is that I look way younger than I actually am, which was very annoying when you were a kid. But now that I'm older, I love the fact that I look younger than I actually am. And I'm thankful for that. And everybody told me when I was younger I would love that later. And, you know, I was just like, whatever, you know. But it's true. I do. I love the fact that, you know, I look younger than I am, which is nice. Connected, then disconnected. So, that kind of goes with, like, even when I'm having a conversation with someone, it's kind of bad. But, like, when they're talking, I will be connected, and then something will catch my brain, and I go off in Never Land. Then I come back, and I'm like, oh, no, what was that? What is it? You know, I've learned to fake conversations very well because of that. Okay, it's kind of a bad trait, but it is a trait nonetheless. All right, fun. So when I am fun, I love fun, okay? So, like, some of the things I think of is Christmas time. Like, right now, this time of year, I absolutely love. It's so much fun. You get to play around. You get to act like a kid all you want to, and nobody bats an eyelash. The rest of the year, it's like, no, you have to be an adult and all this stuff. And you can't have fun. And I'm sorry, I like to have fun, right? Right. Okay, and even like the Fly Lady stuff, one of the things that appealed to me is the fact that she made things more like games instead of, you gotta clean this, you gotta clean that, you gotta clean this next, which was kind of what I was looking for, was that, and then I found fun. So that part appeals to me when it comes to Fly Lady. Keeping life light. So anytime, and this brings me back to the two big stages I had this year that happened. My dad's open heart surgery, and my husband having to find a job because his was downsizing, okay? Both of those situations, it's almost like I'm in denial when I go through those situations. It's kind of sad that way, but it's the only way that I know to be in those situations. Is it's such a dark situation, and yeah, I could go there and be dark if I wanted to, but I choose not to. And no matter what was going on with my husband, I always had a happy face on whenever he came home. I tried to be understanding every time he came home from his other job, frustrated and things like that. I tried to cheer him up as best I could. Okay? With my dad, I knew he was going to make it through that heart surgery, even though it was a 6 bypass. It was huge. It was not easy. And, you know, there was a day when I went to my dad's hospital bed to go visit him in ICU. There was a day, and I could tell he was depressed. And that day made me depressed. So there was one day I wasn't like this. But the rest of the time, I was upbeat. I was joking around with them that it's okay, you know, and stuff like that. And that everything was going to be fine, even though I myself really didn't know if it was or not. But because there were some scary situations with his heart rate not being normal, and it kept dropping when he would stand and things like that. Things that he never had problems with until after the surgery. So I wasn't sure. I've never been through anybody having open heart surgery, much less a 6 bypass. So anyway, every time that there's something going on with my parents, because my parents are getting older right now, I always act this way. Like, it's no big deal. It's all right. Or I go into action mode. What can I do to help? So during the time that I'm you know, being upbeat at the hospital, I was also helping my mom out. What do you need me to do? What errands do you need me to run? What do you need me to do at the house? What do I need to do with your dogs? And things like that. So I went into that mode as well to kind of help with everything too. All right, so I tried to keep life light as best I can. It is critical that a type 1 person comes up with a way of approaching the activities of life, whether it be work or play, in a manner that makes them more fun and light. So every time that there's a situation where it's not fun and light, guess what I want to do? I want to stop. Okay, so a good example of this is back whenever I was a teenager. Every job I hated every single one of them. I mean, it was just really, like, it was cool learning something new. So at the very beginning, it was cool. And then after that, I'm like, I don't want to do this. So then I'd quit. And then before long, I had a history of quitting. And I'm like, that's not good. I need to get serious, you know. And so I finally found a job now that even with the job I had, it was production. Now I'm in management, but before I was in production. And it was data entry, and the only way that I could do it is I made it fun. So I made a contest with myself. So they would raise our production numbers like once a year, and I'm like, okay, you raise my production, I'm going to do even higher than y'all are saying. I'm going to do like 5% overproduction. And so I would break that down, and this is where my top 4 secondary came in. I would break down all the facts and figures to figure out how to do that, and then sure enough, I did it, and things like that. So it was making it a game. And so to me, that made it more fun. Now, there were still times I was burnt out, and guess what? Vacation time kind of happened around those times each time, which was helpful. There was also times where projects were available and things like that. That was a change of pace for me, which was helpful, which that's also a type 1 characteristic that we'll get into here in a minute. Okay, coming up with new ideas and the inspiration and hope of making them come true. All right, so this is the dreamers, okay? The people that always dream of this big, humongous thing, okay? Like paparazzi accessories. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sign up for this, and I'm gonna be a millionaire. Guess what? I ain't a millionaire. I'm nowhere near it. And I'm starting to realize that I don't think it's gonna get there. These are the people that come up with the big dreams and things like that. So yes, I thought that I could have this big old huge empire. Even with my eBay stuff, I thought that as well. I thought, oh my gosh, I can quit my day job and just sell on eBay. Yeah, that ain't happening either. So, if I had all the time in the world to devote to those things and didn't have to work a regular full-time job, then yeah, I could probably do it. Now, with paparazzi, I'd be exhausted. But eBay, it's definitely possible. I would have to learn a little bit more and things like that, but it is possible. I could have done that. Problem is, I got to work a full-time job, so I can't. But we do come up with the big ideas. And of course, we are hopeful that things will come to pass, even if they don't. And we will, to the point, we will beat it like a dead horse, hoping it'll happen before we give up on it. All right, you have more ideas that can be executed, and you will naturally become distracted by other new ideas as they pop up. So this is one of the things that was interesting. When my mother-in-law moved in, she was going through therapy. One of the things they told her is that she needs to have some hobbies and things. And she's like, I don't know how to come up with stuff. And I'm like, things will just pop in my head and I'll just research them and stuff. Well, I know now that that's not a normal thing. But I'd be sitting there bored at work. That's when the ideas come, actually, is whenever you're bored out of your mind. Because the only thing that can do is your brain. Your brain's going to go. So I'm not somebody that's like super active type 1. I'm one of those that my brain is a super active type 1, I guess, is kind of how it boils down to, right? So because of that, I have 20 billion things. Like right now, I'm on vacation from work. I have 20 billion ideas in my head that I want to get done during the time I'm off work. Then I get frustrated because I don't get the 20 billion things done during the time I'm off work. That's the problem. All right. You're most able to overlook difficulties and believe in the possibility of success. So this is the thing that I'm talking about, like paparazzi and eBay. It don't matter what in the world is going to be in my way. I'm going to make it happen. That kind of thing. Yeah. you don't think rationally sometimes because your dream is just, whoo. So that's the thing. Your natural movement of being light and carefree can keep you from following through and finishing things. Ha! My YouTube video is a great example of this. My 31 days of baby steps. Confession, they weren't consecutive. It was a problem. I had a hard time following through because I had 20 billion other ideas of things I wanted to do next. Yeah, this is the problem. Okay? KonMari. Yeah, what happened to that? I never finished it, right? I started, I did clothes, I did papers, I did DVDs, things like that. Then I was looking at it and I'm like, ew, I don't want to do those things. So I kind of stopped, right? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So it's you start things, all the momentum in the world when I start them. It's finishing them. That's the problem. Okay? And you can ask all of my husbands I've had the same thing. They're like, yeah, she'll jump into one craft and then boom, she's in another. Yeah, it happens. So disconnect from one thing that is already in progress to start something new. Yeah, that's the other thing. You like the newness, so you leave other things undone that have already been started. Yeah. So this could possibly be part of my problem with decluttering my house too, right? You know, I get started in one area and then I'm like, oh, but I want to do this area. And maybe that's how I need to declutter my house. Be like, okay, today this part of my house is bothering me. Okay, tomorrow this one's going to bother me. So I'm going to do that. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe that's the answer to my decluttering issues. We'll see. Maybe we'll play around with that, see what happens. All right. So my challenge is you have a tendency to make light of things that hurt you at a deep level. So here's the thing, too. Like, I don't like getting into drama. Like, I try to avoid it like the plague as much as I can. Now, whenever I'm by myself, feelings are going to go. You know, it's just part of it. But in front of people, I'll be danged if I let them know it hurt me deep down. Okay? You may shy away from standing up for yourself. Now, to an extent, but there's other cases where I stand very firm. Work is one of those. And speaking what is true for you when others feel differently. So my top 4 kind of contradicts this. And because of the fact that, you know, you have a tendency to make things like that hurt you deep down. You may shy away from standing up for yourself and speaking what is true for when others feel differently. You may hold back and adapt to others continually in this and lose yourself. Yeah, so sometimes I'll go along with what people say and I'm like, okay, that must be the real thing, you know, especially if they're very convincing in things, you know, not saying I'm somebody that would be in a cult or anything like that. I would like to think I'd stop before that. But, you know, things that don't really matter that much, you know, if somebody states a good case towards it, then I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a good reason. And I'll just go with it. But then there's other times where, you know, I kind of want to play around a little bit. Maybe this is part of my wanting to make things fun at work. We'll be talking in a meeting and everybody will have one opinion. And I will go against it. And then I'll say something, even though I don't even think it at all. I'll just say it just to see what people will say and stuff. And then I'll just say, sorry, I'm just playing devil's advocate, you know. We got to look at both sides of it, right? You know, I'll do that and just throw a wrench in all of it, right? Maybe that's my way of making it more fun instead of just everybody agrees to the same thing. It gets done. That's what we do, you know, and that kind of thing. So, you know, there's situations where I do that. And I do have more fun in those meetings when I do that. So maybe that is the case. Anyway, that is that. Okay, that's as far as I got apparently in this thing. I know I've read through it before, but that's as far as I got when it came to highlighting. Because I mainly read this thinking I was a top 4 and then paid the most attention to the top 4 energy type and stuff. But anyway, so that's where, those are the main reasons why I feel like I'm a top 1. Is, you know, my videos, I am more animated in my videos. I like to show things. I have the ideas of doing things and making things more fun and stuff. And like, I'm going to do this challenge, you know, and things like that. That's like fun to me to do those things and then show it to you guys. Also, whenever I was doing my paparazzi things, people mentioned that I was very animated on camera. Had no idea I was, didn't pay attention to that really, but apparently I am. Who knew? And things. So I didn't realize it. I just didn't think of myself as a type 1 at all, especially because the things that they say during the course is like, it's very social and all this stuff. And yeah, I like to be social. Like, it kind of kills me being at home, working at home and things like that. But at the same time, I love the benefit of being here with my family and things like that. So that's the reason why I still do it. One of the reasons why paparazzi drew me to it is because of the fact that it's a sisterhood. So you kind of have built-in friends in your teams and things like that. So that part was appealing to me and things. And then also everything's very positive. Everything's upbeat in that company and things like that. So that was part of the reason why it drew me in as well. It was very kind of type 1 company, if you think about it. Because they're all about motivation and things like that and encouragement. And y'all can do this. Excuse me. And things like that. Now, maybe every multi-level marketing company is. I don't remember Mary Kay or Discovery Toys, which I've done before. I don't remember them being like that. But I also was a member of those before internet really took off. Oh my gosh, I just dated myself. But you could reach out to people, but there wasn't like Facebook. Like, Facebook kind of changed multi-level marketing quite a bit, I feel like. So, but anyway, but then there's also times that, I'm still shy, and things like that. And then I kept feeling like, when I go to work, I feel like I act like somebody else. But then I got to thinking, I feel more natural when I'm at work than whenever I'm outside of work or out and about and things like that. So one of the things that I realized is I was actually a type 4. Well, I'm actually a type 1, but I was living as a type 4. The thing that I can attribute this to is actually back in childhood. Had to think about this. I mean, I was like the girliest girl as a kid. Like, the girliest. Okay? Loved My Little Pony. It was the end all be all for me. I had a rainbow bright phone, strawberry shortcake kitchen. Everything was pink. Stuffed animals everywhere. I mean, girly, girly girl. And all I wanted to do was play. Play in everything that I could. So as soon as something got boring, I wanted something new, and things like that. So I was a very type 1 child. So, and that's one of the things Carol Tuttle talks about is if you're unsure, think about how you were as a kid. And she even says, ask your parents what they think you are. And my mom took the course. And she said that I'm a top 1 as well. So I was like, she's crazy, because back then I didn't want to hear it. I'm like, I'm not a crazy, come up with everything, then drop everything type of person, even though I could see part of that. So I was like, well, that's just my secondary. I'm not a socialite or anything like that. That's my secondary. I'm not a party girl or anything like that. That's my secondary. My primary's 4. I'm going to stay over there. Well, one of the reasons why I found out I was living as a type 4 is growing up, things got a little crazy in my house. My brothers were troublemakers, so to speak. Troublemakers / lazy, I guess, for lack of a better word. I love my brothers to death, guys, okay? I'm not being mean about it or anything like that. But this is how it was perceived as a child, okay? And all I knew is that they got yelled at all the time for being bad. It was always that they were being bad. They were lazy. They weren't making good grades, things like that. My oldest brother took a very bad path, okay? And luckily he's come out on the other side of that. Thank goodness. My other brother, my middle brother, he just had bad grades. I mean, he was really a good kid other than just making bad grades. He wanted to play on the computer all the time. He wanted to play video games. It was that kind of age, that kind of stuff came out then. It was brand new. Boom. He just drew him in, and things like that. So because of that, they got yelled at a lot. And I took that and I was like, I don't want to get yelled at. I internalized that. I don't want to get yelled at. I don't want one more person for my dad to have to yell at, So I'm going to be the good one. Like, I literally remember telling myself this one day. I'm going to be the good one. So from there on, I lived as a type 4. I was strict to the rules, and things like that. Had a clear sense of right and wrong because I had good examples of what was wrong in front of me. So I just did the opposite of what they did. Okay, they made bad grades. I want to make the best grades, which led to perfectionism, which is also type 4. So, but at the same time doing all that, I kept feeling like I was trying to be something I wasn't. So even whenever I came to you guys and told you guys in video, I'm a type 4. We are going to get super organized in this house. And I don't know I'm a top 4 and things like that and stuff, and all to that eons and stuff, okay? Trying to actually execute that was exhausting. Just like I said at the very beginning of this video, living as a top 4 was exhausting because you were never good enough. Okay, whatever you were doing was not good enough. And it's hearing those things from my dad yelling at my brothers that I was hearing inside my own head. That's where I got that from. So I've been doing some healing work, trying to realize that it's okay to be that kid still, within reason. You still have to adult, right? But you can be silly sometimes. It's okay to be silly. It is perfectly fine, and you can buy unicorn slippers. Nobody knows you bought unicorn slippers but you, because you wear them in the house. Well, your family would know, but that's it. So taking in the fun stuff, and what was interesting is the thing that made me think about it the most was we were at Walmart one day and we were going down the cereal aisle and I go, unicorn cereal! That would be awesome! That's what I said first in my head. And then followed by, unicorn cereal. Seriously, stop being childish. You need to get an adult cereal. That was the end of it. That's when I knew, okay, we are type 1 and the type 4 is forcing it down. So, because of that, this decluttering thing, all of this organizing thing is not going to go strict and down to the line. I learned I am not an Alejandra who loves everything just so and stuff like that. I've learned that my organizing is good enough. So like, if I have bottles just lined up on a shelf, guess what? I know where the bottles are for what thing. So it's good, Now, I do appreciate containers that organize it perfectly for me. A good example of that is my makeup case. So all my makeup stays in there and I'm able to keep it up. Okay. One thing I just got from my lovely husband for Christmas is this gorgeous jewelry case, which you can't see it. Okay. And so it will hold all of my paparazzi jewelry, in which, by the way, that's not all of it. That's nowhere near all of it. Because I was finding myself just putting it on a pile, just having a pile set on my dresser with all my jewelry. And I'm like, you know what? If I really needed that necklace out of there, I'm not going to be able to get it out of there. So he found me a jewelry case that holds practically everything I would ever need in here. So I appreciate this because it is set up exactly. I know exactly where the necklaces go, where the hooks are. I know exactly where the earrings go, where the rods or the little holes. And then I know where the bracelets go. Bracelets can go on these shelves as well. So because of that, I'm very thankful. And so I've learned that if I have some kind of organizer set up exactly for what I'm wanting to do, then I'll use it. But if I don't, then it's just whatever I can come up with at the time.
Mommy?
Yes?
Doing
I'll give you some more here in a minute, okay? Let me finish up. I'm almost done. Go watch your movie. All right, buddy. Come on.
I want to stay with your people.
You want to stay with my people. All right, Xandra wants to say hi, guys. Here's Xander. Y'all haven't seen him in forever. He's now 4. And he is a big boy now, aren't you?
You can see my boo-boo?
Oh, yeah. Show him your boo-boo. Turn this way. Turn towards me so they can see your boo-boo. See his boo-boo? Right there on his little forehead. He hit the corner of a speaker. And it got it all scratched up and stuff. Ooh, we're getting foggy. Blurry. I think it's your thing. You're rattling back and forth. I can't keep up with it. Okay. So he is now potty trained. Fully. Because he's a big boy. So, but anyway, so because of that, organizing is going to be kind of different. I've learned that the more strict I am, the less fun it is. And so I'm going to be embracing Fly Lady's more fun side of doing the work around the house instead of the boring side, okay? So like the fun games she does and things like that. So we're going to incorporate some of that on this channel because of that. So, you know, if you like the fun as well, we're going to embrace the fun, okay? If you do like more of the type 4 kind of thing, then, you know, I will do my best to teach you the stuff. But we're going to keep it fun, we're going to keep it light, and we're going to keep it easy. Because that's just, if it ain't easy, I won't want to do it either. Because that's too responsible. Now, I'm not crazy, and I'm not going to go off the deep end, because one thing that is good is 4 is my secondary. It does ground me. Okay, so whenever I do find that I'm deviating too much, my 4 will bring it back in. And what's interesting that I've noticed is, as I dressed like a type 4, I kept my house less organized than when I'm dressing as a type 1. And I think it's because it's that yin-yang thing. It's taking from both. So because of that, if I'm being more fun on the outside and, you know, acting my true self, it's easier for me to do the more organized stuff at the same time. So we're going to have a happy medium between the two, that kind of thing. But anyway, I did want to share with you guys what was going on with the Dressing Your Truth, what I felt about it, what I've learned. And guys, if you go through it, you get your topper on the first time, it's okay. Just change. I don't know why I waited 11 months, because I had a feeling at like 4 months in that I was wrong. But I was like, no, we can't be wrong. We got to see this through. Well, in 11 months, I said, we are done seeing this through. We got to, you know. And part of it was the winter time's coming up, and seasonal depression hits me a lot in the wintertime. And I didn't want to be a top 4 at that time at all. Because if I'm a top 4, whew, I was already depressed before. It would have been much worse. So now I'm getting more into my creative side again. Things are feeling better, feeling more like me again, and that kind of thing. So this journey was insane, but it was fun, and it's good to know. And I have learned that, you know, with her rules, I'm not going to follow them as strictly. Now, as a type 4, they were all about, you're going to do this strictly because you're a 4. You got to get it perfect and things like perfect is exhausting. Okay, I'm a type 1. I'm going to have fun with it. So you know what? Instead of gold jewelry, sometimes I'm going to wear silver. It's all right. The world's not going to end because I do that, okay? Now, I will try to dress type 1 as best I can because I do know it all meshes well together. All the colors mesh with the metals and things like that. All that's cool, but there's going to be days I ain't going to be doing it, okay? I ain't going to be feeling it every day. It's just a thing, okay? But anyway, that's all that's going on. I thank you guys for your time, and I will talk to you guys later. And if you have any questions about this whole journey that I haven't addressed, please drop them below. I'll be happy to answer them. Now that I'm back and see the comments, and we'll answer you, because, you know, we're going to get back into this because I was away for so long, and I'm ready to have some more fun. So, and for some reason, going back to how to make things fun, I have learned that I don't like cleaning unless I'm videoing it for some reason, because it makes it more fun because I'm not by myself. Does that make sense? I feel like when I'm making my videos, you're right there with me and you're cleaning with me. So that's my way of making it fun as well. But hey, we can kick our fun up a notch even more. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.